Hello, everybody, and today we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Halloween movies. Doing sort of a deep dive into the different origins we've gotten from Michael Myers and what they mean. And I'll try not to spoil too much as we go on, but let's jump right into it. So, first off, we'll start with Halloween 2. In the Halloween 2 movie, Dr. Loomis and the gang came into this classroom. They saw some stuff written on a chalkboard. When they first come in, though, they see this drawing. This drawing is by a little kid, it looks like. Now, did Michael draw this? Probably. Michael probably took the time to draw this. It had a family on it. Apparently a mom, a dad, a boy, and a sister. And the sister had a knife through her. Well, they looked up on the chalkboard, and I called it an ancient language in the last video. However, that is not entirely true. It's actually just a word used by Celtics, neo-pagans, and Wiccans. It's Samhain. It's Samhain. And what it is an Irish festival marking the end of harvest and the beginning of winter, or the darker part of the year, if you will. Meaning the time when things kind of die, essentially. Now, in its Celtic pagan origins, which is believed to have come from Celtic pagan origins, it is marked by gatherings and feasts and different things, and was the time when burial mounds would be open, allowing for the dead to come back, because essentially when the burial mounds were open, it was believed they opened a portal to the other world. And the other world would consist of possible gods, if you will, or even of the dead. So that's where they believed. It was a realm of deities and the dead. Now, it's important to know that, at least in fiction, this particular holiday, Samhain, I call it a holiday, this specific time, Samhain, was also marked by sacrifice. So you would have people sacrificing in the name of these deities or other things, which kind of brings into mind that whole witchcraft element of it, and the origins becoming a little bit more supernatural, because according to some of the beliefs, it was a time when the dead could rise and kind of give thanks to the living for all the things, or if it was a spirit that had been done wrong in some way, or someone thought maybe they had been done wrong, the spirit could come up for vengeance instead. Now, that is essentially what they were hinting about with Michael Myers in part 2, that he was some sort of spirit of vengeance, some sort of essentially this possessed child who had no soul of his own anymore. His soul belonged to Samhain, essentially. At least that's what I always got out of it. But we'll never know. We'll never know the full story there, because what happened? Part 3 happened. Michael Myers stepped away for a little bit, and part 3 happened. And what did we get in part 3? We got this story about some witches who essentially use these masks to sacrifice a bunch of kids so that they could stay alive and young. Well, wait a minute. That's very close. That's not too terrible, is it? But here's the catch. While that's not too terrible, and while that's a little bit close to the whole Samhain story that we might have gotten, it's also like this. You have to look at the thorn aspect of it. So in looking at the thorn part of it, in the movies, thorn refers to this demonic spirit dating back to the time of the Druids. Having their own cult, they were tired of being sick and dying. So in order to come up with a way to prevent themselves from continuing to be sick and dying, they sacrificed essentially a child. They made this child the host of their sacrifice. They would take the child and have the child murder his entire family. At which point, when the final person was dead in that family, whatever became of the child became of them. Like in the case of Michael Myers, we know he had so many wounds and so many hurts. He probably so many wounds and so many injuries that he would essentially stop existing. So we know that. But here's the thing. They had to keep doing this over and over. So rinse and repeat. So in The Curse of Michael Myers, the last of the Thorn movies, we actually get to see this start to happen. The Thorn constellation comes because I guess it only comes on Halloween. But then the one kid starts to hear the voices in his head telling him, kill them all. And that's what we get. So if Michael Myers had completed his task in that movie, the kid would have been the next victim, taking on that iconic moment, becoming the vessel by which these people, this cult, would live forever and not get ill and die. So that brings us to our current situation, because Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection never really touched on anything like that. They kind of are the closest to the whole Michael Myers maybe human thing, if you really want to know the truth. They're probably the closest to that you'll ever see. Because in this one, what do we get? We get Michael Myers coming back out of a fire. Yeah. I don't think anybody can actually do that. Just walk out of the fire unharmed. So that tells us that Michael Myers is supernatural in this one, but what's it going to be? Is it going to be the Thorn constellation? Is it going to be more so with the masks? Because we do see the silver shamrock masks in the movie, in the commercials even. So is it going to be that? Or is it going to be the whole Samhain? It very well could end up being that. It doesn't matter what they're going to do, because any way that they do it, I believe we're going to see something supernatural involved. If you want my honest opinion, I believe we may get to see a variation of all of them. How weird would it be to suddenly find out that some of the members of the town itself in Halloween Ends are part of a cult? And what if instead of the Thorn cult, this is the Samhain cult? And what if, just what if, we see instead of them trying to live forever through all this, what if Michael Myers is a victim in another way? What if there's more to it? What if we get a connection to part 3? Part of their evil plan is the masks themselves. I know that's a little far-fetched, and that may be a little strange to think about. But what do you guys think in the comments below? Remember that we want to hear from you, so definitely drop a comment in the comment box so that we can have a conversation. And then make sure you're hitting that like button so that YouTube knows that this and this cute little face are great, because YouTube wants to know that. At least that this face is cute. If you think Miko's cute, definitely hit the like button. Now, that being said, also friends, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Miko thinks we need more subscribers. You know what? He's pretty smart. So hit that subscribe button. And then hit that notification bell so you know when we do our next video. And then remember to be safe out there. And at the end of the day, fandom is family.